So the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, a permanent phase of late in particular, has been formidable. A runaway dominant double in the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg 2 weeks ago means the weekend. In his 10 previous races here, he's not had a single podium finish. A best of 6 in 2020. And of course, Lewis,
we are confident that our competitor will raise the rank, and I guess that they will improve. So I think that the next races will be with the factory bike for what he did in the past. So we'll see. We saw on Sunday some improvement in Austria from Enea on the warm-up, and even in the first couple of laps. Then he was.
Me too. I saw the same. He looked stronger on Sunday. One last question. Your take on Marco Bezzecchi staying with
inside that factory Ducati garage. Just confirmation then we heard from Davide Tardozzi saying that they confirmed yesterday that Enea Bastianini will be staying in the factory seat next year. I've got to say, there's been no murmurings, no hint of any.
He's not really had the opportunity to give a full account of themselves fully fit. Speaking of which, Paul Espargaro's not exactly been fully fit, has he, so far this season? And what
just a few days after his 15th birthday. Time flies when you're having fun. There's been a few times this year where it's been anything but fun for Paul Espargaro, but great to see him back at the sharp end in MotoGP last time out. Certainly the on the rear tyre Pecco Bagnaia. Alex Rins was caught up in that ugly incident as well. Here in Barcelona, it's very, very low grip conditions. This Circuit de Barcelona circuit was resurfaced back in 2018, but a lack of grip, slippery conditions, grease conditions have been a factor over the last few years. We've seen.
But we don't use any special casing, any special compound. It's something that is stay into the a good range. Let's say it's not something like Saxon ring or Phillip Allen. No distraction
for the hard braking zones, the high corner speed. It's always been a pretty abrasive layout and time management, so often a fundamental issue in MotoGP, but certainly prevalent around this 4.66 kilometre. In terms of the 2024 grid lineup, certainly the 2024 Ducati lineup, we know there's going to be 8 Ducatis again on the grid next year. This man has taken himself out of the equation. Marco Bezzecchi staying put with Muni VR46 Ducati. Does look like that, doesn't it, that Frankie Morbidelli will be on the grid next year on a Ducati.
Yeah, from a rider who was essentially deemed surplus to requirements next season by Yamaha. Talk about falling upwards potentially for next year. For
linked with one of those Ducati seats, maybe an all Marquez brotherly love lineup in Gresini, as Maverick Vinales has a couple of scares there going through turn 3. Then behind the older of the Espargaro siblings, Vinales, Bagnaia and Miguel Oliveira, they're covered by less than a tenth of a second as Marc Marquez peels back in. He's got that very distinctive new Honda Aero. Bag himself, wasn't he? That was actually pretty scary, wasn't it, coming up through turns behind him. As he mentioned then, Johan Zarco on his way to LCR Honda. Taka Nakagami, well, we just saw their live pictures. We'll come down to Sonoco very, very quickly. Big moment there on the front end of Fabio Quartararo as he decelerated into that first corner.
I imagine that's one attraction, but also I've seen over the years he's done a lot of development work for Ducati. You know, the last few years I see the new parts often go on his machine for shakedown. Let's get back to this weekend here. Can you give us your thoughts on your riders and machine at Barcelona?
Well, of course, we are expecting him trying to be back in Misano, and he's actually today having a private test with his Honda CBR Fireblade.
You lose that confidence, you lose that feeling, and also that chance to build up some experience and knowledge. But you have to say, he's a bit like a prize fighter. He keeps bouncing off the ropes and coming back for more, although you do fear for the rise in particular. It's, as they say, it's history. But yeah, normally, Lewis, when we come to Barcelona, we think Quartararo is going to be a shoo-in for the podium, but that's not the case this year.
Certainly not, and we've seen already this season that circuits with his shoulder in the battle to see how low they can go. It's Martin, who certainly appeared to be the lowest there through turn 5.
Wow, just wow. Look at Martin go about his business in turn number 5. That is an insane amount of lean angle he's getting there. Full shoulder, elbow, upper arm down.
Yeah.
Defying the laws of gravity. Absolutely brilliant. Here, just 65 kilometres an hour. It's very easy. We've seen so many riders there tucking the front on the way in. but it does provide us with arguably one of the most spectacular shots of the entire season. As we look at Bezzecchi first, we'll just stay quiet and listen briefly to Jorge Martin tackle a lap of this Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, and as we did stay shush, he had a bit of a scare.
Yeah, we nearly rolled him over the crash there.
Yeah, first gear corner. It was nearly arm off the grid. Since round 4, the Spanish Grand Prix, and reference something that's an issue we have to address very, very quickly. He said, what was formerly my strongest point is now my weak point. So we'll keep a close eye on Jorge Martin to see how he performs.
Doesn't happen. If you qualify way down the field, you just put yourself in the middle.
Factory team last year, he's a man you have to say under some pressure, under the cosh, to try and turn the tide around at HRC. They haven't won around those tests. Quartararo and Marquez, we have to say, are sort of playing down the hype, playing down the expectation. They don't think there's going to be any silver bullet. No
season, although we're still only just starting the second half of 2023 on the 1st of September. So busy the second part of the season is. This is one
5 of Jorge Martin. He can pretty much lean over a bit more and kiss the tarmac, can't he? Kiss the curb. Just marvel at that shot.
Yeah, to ride the GP bike here is it's a tough track. It's probably one of the toughest for tyre management. It's all about the rear grip, and if you can make that tyre last, you're going to be having a good race. So it's all about managing.
You figure things out and end up going as fast as anyone. You think that's possible in Superbike as well, and is that the goal?
Yeah, for sure. It took me, 5 years in Moto2 to win a championship. So yeah, it took me a while to get my...
Enjoying what's been quite a long World Superbike summer break, but back in action next weekend. They pick it all up with the French round in Magny-Cours. We pass on our best to Remy for the remainder of that impressive rookie season. Just back here in a twin exhaust pipe, isn't it? On the right-hand side of that Wisdar M1 as he goes into turn number 7. So yeah, that's something new on the Frenchman's Yamaha.
Like under the seat tank, I believe it's fuel tank, airbox combination, and that makes sense. So different. You can see Mark's machine with the old aero on is literally 10-12 millimeters lower in the front. So that gives you an idea what sort of weight.
Be entitled to, if you wish, and you can understand why Jorge Martin might be quite keen to do that. So here's Fabio Quartararo's riposte then to what we saw from Jorge Martin earlier. How low does Fabio go?
Yeah, down, down, deeper and down. Here we go. Yeah, this is without any question the undisputed lean master. In he goes. That went early. That went really early. He got caught by surprise there, didn't he, on that one? A late Espargo, though, making hay while the sun shines on those soft tyres. We're in passing the commentary box here, of course, seeing there just sort of shake that right hand. Of course, it was that thumb.
To potentially replace his teammate at the top of the session. Confirmation there on your screens. Brand new soft front and soft rear tyre for the number 41, and he could be about to get into the 139s in this session. He does indeed. A 139.809 for...
Some fierce ride in this commentary box here this weekend as well, because Snow Secret, myself and Lewis are pretty big football fans. We love our two-wheel motorsport, of course, but big football fans. And
Repsol Honda Garage, as we saw, this goes so early. He's nowhere near the apex of the...
A much more conservative Marc Marquez as we look at Aleix Espargaro, who gets it horribly wrong, gets it wrong into turn number 10. That's not going to work.
On track and takes the checkered flag as our fastest rider, with only Viñales and Martin within a second of Aleix Espargaro's session topping time.
Yeah, it looks like we'll check the lap by lap analysis later on, but Aleix Espargaro, we know.
Totalitas sekali nih.